But that's just me.
I got it.
No. Okay, that's the bottom.
People, I see Mr. Watson there.
And I just did that.
Evening, Bob.
Good evening.
Okay.
Looks like Paul.
That's right. That was all. Still. Did everybody else sign in? Anybody who wants to do public comment want to sign in or? It is 7 o'clock, so I will call the meeting. Join me in the pledge of allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment. Like we have 2 people. Ms. Nick?
I'm just gonna say, as saddened as I am to hear your resignation, Bob,
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to thank you for being an outstanding director for our county. As a lifelong citizen of this county, I also want to apologize for what I call unfair, disrespectful, and downright rude treatment from our county administrator at the January 5th County Commission meeting. I was on the line, so I heard it. I'm in disbelief that you of all people, one of the kindest, reasonable, and most professional people I know, was allowed to be treated in such a manner. You will always have not only my support, but many others' support as well in this county. I wish you nothing but the best in the future endeavors.
Thank you very much. I guess we can listen to Chief Morgan.
Oh, thank you. Good evening. I just want to also echo my concerns and to hear Bob's resignation and talking to him on the phone. I'm sorry he had to come down to this. But in the same token, I'm kind of glad that he is. He knows he's getting out before he gets the hammer dropped on him, because he has been preaching for a long time, along with all of us, that this is not going to be able to happen. Everything will be happening when they want it to happen. So he's just they're just gonna make a scapegoat out of him, as they have in the past, and it's not fair to Bob at all. So I do applaud him for getting out when he did. And I know he'll have no problem getting appointment elsewhere. The other thing is, I'm seeing on social media, and just like John Hissel, I have no way to mean John Hissel at all. However, don't forget, this whole debacle started with the 5 stupid county commissioners we've had in the past. They're the ones who get him to march in order to do this. That's where the ball started. This whole disastrous plan. Mr. Stauber, Jackson, Ed, and Hudson. Commissioner Kraus has nothing to do with this. She's brand new. But that's where the whole thing started. And it's going to fail. And when it does, people are going to suffer. So, and the last thing is, if I was you all, I would not waste your time at all seeking someone to replace Bob, because the board's going to be dissolved on March 1. Let the county commission do it. Let them put the money where their mouth is and do something. It's time for this people to do something, step up to the plate. Because as again, the board's going to be dissolved March 1. And there would be no reason to have a fire board Because commission is not supporting fire fee, but maybe a levy, and you don't need a fire board for levy. So really, again, like I said, several months ago, you know, some parts one, this board be no use.
Thank you, sir. Like anybody else did not want to have a public comment? Any public comment? And we get approval for the ambulance fee here meeting, ambulance fee hearing that we had on December 20th.
Before you approve it, can I get myself added that I was present on both of them? That's I'm missing on.
See, I just know you by coach. Down Bongo.
So I move that we approve the minutes with the correction.
I'm sorry.
Everybody in favor of approving the minutes with the addition that Coach Jones was here? Please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Passes.
Something like that, John Paul. We didn't even put you down as a no. We got, you don't even exist. I'm sorry. I could have been one of my former days.
I get a motion to approve the minutes from our regular December 20th meeting with the addition that Coach Jones was actually here. And all of those in favor of passing, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. That's written with the addition. Treasurer's report.
Our bank accounts balances as of December 31st, 2022 are as follows. We have $467,000 and $268 in general fund, $103,707 in payroll, $444,250 in ambulance fee, $152,560 for the mortgage chair. Since our last meeting, Director Berner and I have signed a total of 15 checks for a grand total of $25,875.71. That's all.
Accept the treasurer's report as presented.
So I think what
Second. Those in favor of approving the treasurer's report as given, please by signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Report passed. Chairman's report. Chairman's not here, but he wanted to.
I'm here on Zoom. Sorry.
Well, this is chairman. This is our chairman.
Yeah.
Twiggy. But Twiggy would like to say, welcome you as the new Fire Association representative, chief.
I appreciate it.
Who is here from 5351 to give a report? Is there one more tonight? No, okay. No report from Chief Watson. You have a report?
I have a few things I want to just kind of, let you all know about what some of my goals were for the Fire and Rescue Association. Ross has had the past 2 years and he's done a great job. I had a different vision that I wanted to kind of see this year, and that's to have the JCSA take a larger role to working with the volunteer departments. One of the things that I really want to get integrated was to have a JCSA staff member on every one of our committees that we have this coming year. So anytime that the Fire and Rescue Association has a committee, whether it be a standard committee or a Knox box committee or what have you, we're going to make sure that we have a representative from the JCSA on that committee, so that way we can all try to work together. I'm hopeful by maybe the year's end, we can start integrating all of our countywide OG policies through the Fire and Rescue Association and integrate those as a countywide standard that everybody follows, not just the 7 volunteer departments, but all 8, including JCSA. So my biggest thing is I really want to try to see all of us working together. I think, last year was a rocky start with everything going on, but that's pretty much my goal for this coming year, is to try to have a positive outcome with the Fire and Rescue Association. And I want to make sure that the Fire and Rescue Association is able to police itself. So that way, we have a stronger voice, I guess you could say, along with the JCSA partners.
Okay. That is, sir.
Yeah, well, I'll touch on the, I guess since I have a minute, the fire levy. Chief Morgan is still currently working with the, working towards the fire levy aspect of it. I know we ran into a few problems with the gentleman that we dealt with earlier on, but we are working on trying to get with Chief GT Parsons out of Romney. He's going to help us move forward. But the Fire and Rescue Association, the volunteer fire departments are still currently trying to work with the fire levy. But that's all I have for right now.
Thanks, sir. Director Burner,
I'm not used to coming up this quick. Thought I had a few more minutes.
you're on.
Same person.
Did you see the look he gave when Miss Nick said what a wonderful and pleasant person I am? First, a happy thing, Captain Mike Sine, formerly Technician Mike Sine, was promoted to the Operations Commander position at the rank of Captain. Mike has been with the agency for 17 years. He is the, I don't know how you say it in the PC way, but he's not the oldest person that works here. He's the one with the longest tenure. That's it. He's been in fire and EMS in Jefferson County for a total of 32 years. So he is older than, he's been here longer than furniture.
There's a lot of love going on.
Mike is off and running. He's doing a great job trying to fill in the feisty shoes of Captain Thompson. The JCSA FY24 budget request was submitted to the commission office as approved by this board at the December meeting, so that has been forwarded downtown. The FY24 volunteer budget request, last month, the board voted to have the number come from the Fire and Rescue Association. Their meeting was the first week of January, and for me to channel that number on downtown, which I had done. Their request was for $125,000 each. Times 7 departments at $875,000. Again, that's been submitted downtown. Debbie is way ahead here. The office will be closed on February 20th for President's Day. Debbie's got out all those Wyndham sales, so that's the timing. And last but not least, the TV grants, Captain Horn. We got some stuff. Two items were approved.
We got the Echo stethoscopes that kind of hook to your phone and kind of magnifies amplifies the heart tones and lung sounds. And the other thing was a mannequin that actually does heart sounds and breath sounds. So instead of listening to it on a video screen, you actually have to listen and also pay over the right quadrants to hear what you're supposed to hear.
In our continuing effort to build muscle memory and practice how we play, so that the real thing isn't so much different than the training thing.
or something else?
No, that was quick too. Usually a little bit longer.
All right, let me add this. Let me add this then. My decision to leave this agency, it's very difficult. I've poured 11 years of my heart and soul into this group. I love the people here. This agency has the best team of providers and first responders that not only I have ever seen, but numerous other people who have come to this agency from larger or different organizations elsewhere are always amazed at how we do so much with so little, and the general attitude that our folks, what they really want at the end of the day is just the tools and resources they need to take care of the people out there. This is something I need to do for the well-being of myself and my family. It's bittersweet because I do hate to walk away, but it is my intent to ride off into the sunset. I am not interested in being part of any drama or anything. There's nothing being put out there by me. I will say that. I just need to go take care of myself and my family. That's all.
Thank you, sir. So as we move on into unfinished business, anybody, are we still wanting to bring this back up, or do we want to keep the support of the fire levy tabled until more information is gathered? I guess we'll just sit on it till it happens. The new business that was brought up was the director's position vacancy. Someone in particular brings up, did they have needs?
There's a couple of things I'd like to address on this. First of all, I'm highly upset with the fact that we're going to be losing Bob as our director. But as a sitting on this board, even though I'm here as a citizen representative, I think that you have to not only try to represent the citizens the best you can on this board, but you also need to show appreciation and support the people that do the job here every day, that go out there and put their welfare on the line for our citizens. This situation has been brought on of us losing Bob, to me, by the lack of professionalism and poor performance by our county administrator, John Nissel. Over the past several weeks, Mr. Nissel has failed to act on a number of purchase orders submitted to him by this agency. He has continued to request more and more and more information on those purchase orders that had already been approved to submit. Between the problems of the purchase orders, the county takeover of the ambulance service, and the browbeating that Director Berner took from Mr. Nissel at the last commission meeting, we are now at this dilemma of having to try to find a new director, as well as try to find an interim director until we can appoint a new director into a permanent position. We are at a critical point with this agency. Not only are we trying to get the money up to retain the people that we have, but we're trying to attract people to come here. Besides attracting the people to come here, we're losing people besides losing Director Berner. We can't keep going at this level. Therefore, as a member of this board, I'm requesting that this board submit a vote of no confidence in Mr. Nissel and request that the commission find a suitable replacement for his position. At this time, I'm placing before this board a motion to vote on no confidence and have Mr. Nissel or vote against Mr. Nissel and request his replacement. And that's my motion at this time.
I think we can always, as far as I know, we can always send a letter. No confidence. I mean, it
It's a
doesn't.
letter of confidence. It's not We're not removing
Yeah, we're not doing anything other than
it. There's
saying
no action. It's
as a
just
board
like-
that we disagree. All we would need is a second on. Mr. Harris. Motion.
Yeah, I'll second.
So we have a motion, we've had a second. Any discussion?
I think I gotta agree with what Chief Ross said earlier. It has to go deeper than that. He's been given a task. I don't know the whole specifics, but he's been given a task before by his bosses to move forward and push this and do the things that he's been assigned to do. So I think it goes deeper than just him. And to just put that on his back is as bad as it would be to put it on the director's back.
I don't disagree with that fact. But even when you sit in a position such as his, you have to act and carry out the job that they give you in a tactful manner, in a professional manner. With being courteous to the people that work within the agencies within this county. And I personally don't feel that has been done. And that, along with some other issues, that's why I'm requesting that we have a vote of no confidence.
It's just expressed.
So we're just gonna write a letter, basically.
I think what Steve is asking is just expressing our displeasure with the events that happened. It's not removing anything. Or
Yeah, we can't- we don't have
anything of
that
that
power.
nature. It's this board, either supporting or not supporting a letter saying we're dissatisfied with the action.
I would be more in favor of more than no confidence. It's stating that we have not been satisfied with his performance and his treatment. I don't know that that's, I don't know the man well enough to say if he knows how to do his job or not, but I do know that his treatment towards us and the director there has not been up to our standards, I would say, professionalism.
I would also add the disrespect towards JCESA and its employees. That's blatant. He's driving like crazy. Like, what do you want me to say?
You can bet one thing, whatever you say.
Well, I mean, right now we have a motion on the
Yeah.
floor. The motion is what it is. And we have a second on it, then we have discussion on it, so we need to vote. And then if someone wants to bring forth another motion, that's fine, but I think we need to vote on the motion at hand, which is as a board, if we were to vote on this and vote positively on it, that a letter of no confidence would be sent to the county commission regarding the county official title of county administrator. So,
Before we go, can I amend that to also say that the mistreatment, due to the mistreatment and unprofessionalism that's been shown? You can amend that motion.
I would probably say that that would have to be, that amendment would have to go through the person who brought forth. the-
I'm saying it'd have to be second.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
So how would you like that?
Well, I think as part of the vote of no confidence, it's basically brought about by those reasons that we, I feel we're losing the current director and we're going to be losing more people. And ESA as a body has suffered under his direction and his unprofessional manner of dealing with the entire process from the county. So I agree with that the letter should state that it's a vote of no confidence because of the unprofessional manner in which he's acted and the way he's treated, not only the director, especially in a open commission meeting in front of other people, but the unprofessional manner in which he's treated JSCA members as a whole.
You know, that
You got that letter, didn't you?
Just be.
she's riding as fast as she
Being
can.
recorded.
So, submit a letter of no confidence to the Jefferson County Commission regarding county administrator John Missile due to unprofessional manner in treatment of ESA director and staff.
Correct.
Very good.
Can I get a second on that amended motion?
Second.
Do I
I mean, are you
second?
going to also include this hampering ESA's ability to do?
I mean, all right, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just vote on this thing. I don't, okay, yeah, I could be wrong.
Yeah. Gettysburg Address was not very long. So, okay. So we have a motion on the floor. We've discussed it. All in favor of approving the motion that Mr. Harris has put forth, please say aye. Those opposed? And motion for a vote of no confidence to Ms. Missile has been approved by the JCESA.
Before you move on, just because it's already here, and because I don't know when the next one we're gonna talk about. Bob, when I first got here, you took me in that office, you showed me everything I needed to know. I'll never
Tell
forget
stories.
that. I'll never forget that, man. This county is gonna be less than because of you. This agency is gonna be less than because of you. I 100% get it, but just know that it will be missed.
I agree. I'll second that.
Just in regard to the director's position vacancy, I just want to remind everybody that we are still an acting board. And I do believe it is our obligation to advertise and start the process for this position, for the replacement. And I can't remember the exact details of how we did it last time, but I think we had a committee. I believe the resumes came into Debbie. I believe those resumes were forwarded to the committee to narrow them down. And then the committee conducted interviews, I believe was the process we followed last time.
One change that we did make after the last time was that before the prior, they had talked about having a college degree.
Right.
And we had determined that that was not necessary.
Right.
That there really didn't even need to be a reference to having a college degree to apply for it.
I believe we could probably pull out the old job posting and take a look. at it.
Debbie sent it to me and 'cause I requested it this past week, and yes, there was within the job description and in the job, there was the requirement that the person had a 4-year degree. And much like you, I do not believe that in today's day and age that is a requirement for this position. It's nice.
I had a 25-year degree. That's how long it took.
And I think you're right. I think that we would be best served for ourselves and for the people of Jefferson County and for the people who have the know-how and the tech and the knowledge, skills and abilities, but don't have a piece of paper from an accredited university or college. I have one and it got me nowhere to where I am today. So I truly believe that we do not need to have that as a requirement.
This person coming from my range, so that's apply from the county.
I mean, it was put out on
Indeed.
Indeed and many of the jobs on it. So,
We had someone from, I believe, Georgia apply last time to relocate.
yeah.
Does it ever happen that we bring in a director from outside our own ranks? Outside your ranks?
Hey, Bob,
Yes.
I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with you and that I think we are losing a great leader.
Well, thank you, Dr. Trees. That means a lot.
I was just curious, that's all.
I'm the first director that was hired from inside the organization. Prior to me, the agency has always hired someone retired from somewhere else. This has been a retirement, so I'm the first one from within the ranks. And while you guys are working this out, I'd also say that with February 2nd being my last day, and I don't know how quickly things will move, but you may want to figure out what you want to do about appointing an acting or interim after my departure if you don't have a successor.
Are we able to do that this meeting though, given the nature? I mean,
That, I was gonna bring that up, the fact that his departure date is prior to our next scheduled meeting. Do we want, what is the process for getting an interim in place?
And do you have someone you want to be? in?
I would say we could take suggestions or thoughts on that tonight.
So why don't we go through the process of seeing who wants to be on the committee for the advertising and selection and let those folks pursue talking to an interim or take a recommendations for an interim.
Sure.
What do you guys think about that? Then you have the same people that are looking at the potentially filling the spot.
technically, we still have a director to what, February second,
Second.
right?
So as long as acting or interim is figured out by then, you're good.
By then.
Yeah, but the committee can meet.
Right.
As long as it's not we have a handful on there, it's not a quorum
Yeah.
of this board. Do a committee of 3 to do the vetting, the advertisement, and all of that, and talk about who interviewed for the interim. appoint.
That committee doesn't just have to be us, right? It can be, because I think we should put someone from.
Oh, absolutely.
I have a question regarding trying to find somebody to replace for Bob. The question I have, it's already January 17th and it's going to go from a board of directors to a county-owned department. How are we, or you all, going to actually find somebody legitimate by March 1st to be able to replace by the time you sit down, figure out what the qualifications are, send them out, have enough time to get the applications in and actually review them to pick somebody without trying to do it at the last minute?
Well, we have the qualifications because we've hired for the position before. We have the job description. It's just tweaking that. It'll be
Well,
getting-
I understand it's tweaking, but you know, one thing, and I'm going to put this out here just as my opinion, but one thing that has to be a complete must when you fill this position, and this is not against anybody within the past, but there needs to be somebody that has experience that works with a combination volunteer and career department from this point forward. I'm not saying that people in the past have not, but we have to have, that has to be one of the number 1 or in the top 5 qualifications that you have to have in order to work for this company. Because if you don't have that experience, there's no way that you can move forward properly with the career and the volunteer commingling together.
And I would think that would be a criteria that the committee would look at when they're vetting people.
You want to be on the committee? Is that what I'm hearing?
If there's a spot open, I'd be more than happy to, you know, assist in any way.
I'm just trying to pull up.
Just because it's worth noting, I don't think we should operate under the assumption that we're dissolving March 1st. I think it's what.
I think we need to move forward
Yeah. do our duty.
regardless of what.
At the very least, we
I
can
think we have to
interim in.
move forward
Yeah.
until they say, you are no more. I think we have to move
Do
forward.
our job.
Yes.
So
The way things have been in the past, you know, things have sometimes changed at a minute's notice around, you know, this county. So, you know, to me, until they say that the board is no more, then I think we need to continue to function as a board as if we were going to be here for
We'll
another
see
4
there
years.
until we-
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm opposed to that. I just want to make sure that, I guess from an outsider looking in, I just want to make sure that we're not trying to cram somebody into a position of such importance within a month and a half. Not
Trustee
saying that,
Watson, you're willing to be on the committee?
yes, I can.
Perfect.
I would just.
I would ask that at least one of us,
I would like.
I was on the last one, so
Your citizen.
I think that, no, he's not. on there.
Oh, yeah.
I think a citizen, one of the citizen reps needs to
One
be on.
system reps to be on it.
That's fine. I would also add, if we could add.
Somebody volunteering.
Yeah, that's fine. Unless Captain signs. Or somebody that he appoints or whoever, but yeah. Somebody from the agency should be part of that.
Yeah, you might, it's just a suggestion, you might be better off to have the local. Do you think, or do you want
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever you guys
Whatever
feel
you-
you want on there, we could put,
We have a hiring committee that someone could help from.
That's true. I think my personal opinion is, and I'm not sure, not, he might, just got here. No one from the executive staff, no one from the command and general staff should be, I don't think should be on it. We should get somebody, you know, it might be the lowliest EMT or whatever else, but I think
we
somebody.
have our internal hiring team
I think somebody
Lieutenant
from the,
and paramedic and technician that do our hiring for firefighters and EMTs,
I
so
think that would be.
they have experience in interviewing and all that. Pick one of those guys.
One of those, right? Do you want to do it, George?
I'll have to check with the other two,
Okay.
make that an option, but yeah, so
Can you give us a name by tomorrow?
Yeah.
Can you give it today?
Just in the
Okay.
agency, just someone from the agency.
Yeah.
So the direction, I guess, of the motion is for the committee to get the position advertised on Indeed, review it, get it advertised as quickly as possible, and then to organize and figure out the process for it.
Are they going to pick the interim as well, because
Yeah,
they had vacancies before?
that
the
was
next meeting?
the desire, was for the committee to also take recommendations for the interim.
You want to be on this committee too, since you have the experience with it?
That's what I'm saying.
Then I'm gonna call you and ask you about the whole thing.
It's okay.
Because I,
You're recruiting.
yeah, I can
experience.
post a job, but I don't know specific rules. Yeah.
I think we,
with 4 people, we stay clear of it.
Who's our four? So it's us two, are you on it?
no, it's Chief Watson,
Okay.
Mhm.
Online.
Got it.
Coach, you.
You show the
Someone
you.
from-
I do think we should put a timeline on this though, to get at least an intro,
Yeah, you will need to meet
like
tomorrow.
ASAP. I mean, it's not a
But
bad
you
idea to
should.
say by Friday.
You've got to have one
It's not
by
a big
February
deal.
2nd. You've got till February 2nd.
Second, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the quicker we get an interim, the.
Right.
You know, we ain't gotta worry about February 2nd as much.
You gotta look at too, as far as appointing an interim, is you're gonna need somebody who's somewhat familiar with the system as it is now.
And if push came to shove, we could have a special session, correct? So,
Putting somebody as an interim that has no idea of
I mean, if we get to that.
done and,
Yes.
specifically what
Do you have someone
At
you
least
would
the-
recommend for that role?
I don't,
Well, I think you take it offline
Okay.
to the committee.
but I would say that I think what we talked about, and I've talked about in the past, is that within that job description, we need to get rid of the requirement of having a
In
four-year
lieu of
degree.
degree, instead just put, you could have degree, but in lieu of degree, this amount of work.
Well, if you got 5 to submit.
You got 10 years. I mean,
Seven requirement becomes a,
when you got 20 years of experience, the degrees are pointless at that point.
becomes an
I
addition.
think you just admit the wording degree here.
Right,
If two guys got the same thing and this guy's got the degree, I guess we can look at it. But
right, exactly. I just don't want us to hamper our
Yeah,
ability to look at someone just because they've got 20 years of fire service or 20 years as a paramedic and they don't have a degree.
I agree.
That's foolishness. So,
Okay, so did you write everything down or should I make a formal motion?
Formal motion.
There was a motion?
I don't start it.
I just had Yeah, I know you said review, advertise on Indeed, figure out recommendation. That's all I got.
I'm just gonna say, I am going to make a motion that the committee that's been identified for recruiting and finding an interim director proceed with posting the job description or job advertisement, I believe, whatever sort of resources we've used previously, and to proceed with recommendations for the interim and vetting candidates for a potential hire of director.
We have a second.
Yeah, second.
Any discussion? Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Any other new business? Well, I have some. So, I think that giving attaboys is a good thing. I think people who volunteer and do things of their own, not for their own good, but for the good of their friends and family and the county and everything else needs to be acknowledged. I think that, especially for something like this, then you start talking about people's lives and emergency services, that becomes quite important to a lot of people, as we all have seen over the last few years. always seems to come up. So, from the board, Chief Morgan, we would like to present you with this. I need you to stand up for me, please.
having a good nap.
Here, well, we're gonna go over here so the people online. So this says, Chief Morgan, thank you for your work to provide the best EMS and fire services to Jefferson County, West Virginia. The board appreciates your contributions and we know you have made a difference as a member from 2021 to 2023. Thank you. Thanks.
And if you turn around, I'll take a picture for our Facebook.
Agree or disagree, man, no one can ever say that I got on fight.
Why am I the only one in this picture with you? Thank you.
You're the only one that's photogenic.
Oh, I get it, right. I think that's just an important thing that he does not come here because he has to, he comes here because he wants to. Too bad, Mark. First time I think I've been here, Marshall Wood. So,
You're right. And basketball.
anything else? Any new business? Anything? Anybody would like to see anything? Seems like we've come to the end. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn the meeting.
Second. All in favor of adjourning
No.
the January 17th meeting, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Meeting adjourned.
His face is right. He didn't see that coming. He got. Yeah, I mean, we should definitely.
Hey, Adam.